Your body starts losing muscle faster than it can build it somewhere around your early 60s. Doctors have a clinical name for it. Sarcopenia sounds serious because it is. By age 70, the average person has lost roughly 30% of their muscle mass compared to their peak. And that muscle loss is not just cosmetic. It means weaker bones, higher fall risk, slower recovery from illness, and a shrinking window of independence. And here's what makes it worse. The standard advice is always the same. Eat more protein, exercise, maybe buy an expensive supplement with a label full of words you cannot pronounce. But nobody talks about which specific affordable foods actually deliver the kind of protein and nutrients that aging muscles can absorb and use. Walk into any health food store and they will point you toward a $40 tub of protein powder designed for a 25-year-old bodybuilder. That is not the answer. Your grandparents knew the answer. They ate meals that scientists are only now confirming were nearly perfect for maintaining strength in older age. Meals that cost almost nothing. Meals that most people have completely forgotten about because the food industry would rather sell you something in a shiny package. Today, we are going through 5 of those forgotten recipes. Each one costs less than $1 per serving, each one is backed by real nutritional science, and each one is soft enough, digestible enough, and practical enough for anyone over 60 to make at home without any special equipment. The 5th one on this list is so cheap it borders on ridiculous. Pennies per serving. And it might be the most effective of all. Before we talk recipes, you need to understand why this matters so much. After 60, your body needs more protein than it did at 40, not less. Research published in the Journal of the American Medical Directors Association found that older adults need at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight daily just to maintain existing muscle. That is significantly more than the outdated recommendation most doctors still repeat. For a person weighing 150 pounds, that comes out to roughly 68 grams of protein every single day. But here's the part nobody mentions. It is not just about eating more chicken breast. Seniors deal with reduced stomach acid, which makes absorbing certain nutrients harder. They deal with chronic inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown, even when they are eating enough. They deal with dental issues that make tough, chewy meats uncomfortable. And they deal with fixed incomes and budgets that have been shrinking while grocery prices keep climbing year after year. So the ideal food for building muscle after 60 hits 3 targets at once. High-quality protein the body can actually absorb. Key micronutrients like B12, calcium, zinc, and magnesium that support the muscle-building process. And a price tag that does not require a second mortgage. Every recipe on this list checks all 3 boxes, and most of them were staples in kitchens across America 50 or 60 years ago before the processed food industry convinced everyone that nutrition had to come in a bottle or a bar. Number 1. Canned salmon patties with the bones left in. This one surprises people every time. A can of wild-caught salmon sitting on a grocery store shelf. The kind that costs about $2 to $3, contains more usable nutrition per dollar than almost any fresh fish you could buy. The protein is high quality and complete, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to repair and grow. The omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, are potent anti-inflammatory agents. That matters because chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of muscle loss in older adults. Every time you eat a meal that fights inflammation, you're giving your muscles a better environment to actually hold on to the gains from whatever physical activity you do. But here's the part most people miss entirely. Those soft little bones in the can, do not throw them out. Those bones have been pressure cooked during the canning process until they are completely soft, almost paste-like. They are loaded with bioavailable calcium, the kind your body can actually absorb and use for bone density. A single can provides roughly the same amount of calcium as a glass of milk without the dairy. The recipe could not be simpler. Drain a can of salmon into a mixing bowl. Mash everything together, bones included. Add 1 beaten egg, a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, some diced onion, salt, and pepper. Form the mixture into patties with your hands. Pan fry them in a little olive oil until golden brown on each side, about 3 to 4 minutes per side. You get 2 to 3 patties from 1 can. That is enough complete protein for a full meal, plus calcium, plus omega-3s, all for under $2. Your grandmother probably made these once a week and never thought twice about it. If patties feel like too much work, you can press the same mixture into a loaf pan and bake it at 375 degrees for about 30 minutes. Slice it like meatloaf, same nutrition, even less effort. Number 2, beef liver sauteed with caramelized onions. Now, before you skip ahead, hear this out. Beef liver is, ounce for ounce, the single most nutrient-dense food you can buy, and it costs less than most cuts of ground beef. A small serving of beef liver, just 3 to 4 ounces, delivers a staggering amount of vitamin B12. We are talking several thousand% of the daily recommended value in one sitting. That matters enormously for seniors because as you age, your stomach produces less and less acid. Lower stomach acid means your body struggles to extract B12 from regular foods like chicken, eggs, and dairy. B12 deficiency in older adults causes fatigue, weakness, brain fog, and can mimic symptoms of dementia. Beef liver cuts through that absorption problem because the B12 concentration is so high that even a compromised digestive system gets what it needs. On top of that, you get heme iron, the form of iron your body absorbs far more efficiently than the plant-based version. Iron means oxygen delivery to muscles, which means energy and recovery. You also get complete protein with all the essential amino acids. You only need to eat liver once a week, 3 to 4 ounces. That is roughly the size of a deck of playing cards. One serving, one day, and you have covered your B12 and iron needs for the entire week. Here is the trick that turns liver from something you dread into something you actually look forward to. The night before, slice the liver into thin strips and soak them in a bowl of regular milk in the refrigerator. The milk pulls out the bitter metallic taste that makes most people gag. The next day, drain the milk and pat the strips dry with a paper towel. While the liver dries, slice 2 large yellow onions and cook them slowly in a skillet with butter over medium-low heat. Stir them occasionally for about 20 minutes until they turn deep golden brown and sweet. Push the onions to the side, turn the heat up to medium, and sear the liver strips for about 2 minutes per side. They cook fast and should still be slightly pink inside. The caramelized onions completely transform the flavor. Sweet, rich, and savory. Most people who claim they hate liver have never had it prepared this way. A pound of beef liver costs roughly $3 to $4 at most grocery stores, and that is enough for 3 to 4 weekly servings. If you're finding this helpful so far, hit subscribe. We cover practical senior health and nutrition every week. Now, these next 3 are even easier to prepare, and the last one on this list costs literal pennies. Number 3. Pumpkin seed powder stirred into oatmeal or yogurt. Pumpkin seeds are a nutritional powerhouse hiding in the bulk section of your grocery store. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds, which is roughly a small handful, packs 9 grams of protein. That alone makes them competitive with many animal sources. But the real value for seniors is in the mineral profile. Pumpkin seeds are one of nature's best sources of both zinc and magnesium. Zinc supports testosterone production, which matters for muscle maintenance in both men and women, as levels naturally decline with age. Magnesium is critical for muscle contraction, relaxation, and recovery. Low magnesium is linked to cramps, weakness, and poor sleep, all of which sabotage muscle building in older adults. When you buy pumpkin seeds in bulk, the cost drops to around $4 to $5 per pound. That is dozens of servings for the price of 1 protein shake. Now, here's the practical tip that makes this work for seniors. Whole pumpkin seeds can be tough on older teeth and harder to digest. The solution is simple. Take a cup of raw pumpkin seeds and pulse them in a blender or coffee grinder until they become a coarse powder. Takes about 15 seconds. Store the powder in a mason jar in your pantry. Every morning, stir 2 tablespoons of the powder into your oatmeal or fold it into a cup of yogurt. You will barely taste it. The texture blends right in. But you just added roughly 9 grams of highly absorbable protein, plus a meaningful dose of zinc and magnesium to a meal you were already going to eat. No cooking, no extra dishes, no extra expense worth mentioning. Number 4. Hemp seeds sprinkled raw on absolutely anything. Hemp seeds might be the most underrated protein source in any grocery store. 3 tablespoons deliver 10 grams of complete protein. Complete meaning all 9 essential amino acids are present, which is rare for a plant source. What makes hemp seeds special for seniors is the protein structure itself. Hemp protein is primarily edestin, a type of globular protein that the human digestive system breaks down with very little effort. For older adults whose digestion has slowed down, this is a significant advantage. You absorb more of what you eat instead of passing it through. The omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acid ratio in hemp seeds is also close to ideal. Most modern diets are wildly skewed toward omega-6, which promotes inflammation. Hemp seeds help rebalance that ratio, which means less joint pain, less systemic inflammation, and a better hormonal environment for muscle protein synthesis. Using hemp seeds requires zero cooking. Open the bag, sprinkle 3 tablespoons onto whatever you're already eating. Oatmeal, yogurt, salad, soup, toast, scrambled eggs. They have a mild, slightly nutty flavor that does not overpower anything. A 1-pound bag of hemp seeds costs around $8 to $10 and lasts for weeks. Per serving, you're looking at less than 50 cents for 10 grams of complete, easily digestible protein plus anti-inflammatory fats. Between the pumpkin seed powder from number 3 and hemp seeds here, you could add close to 20 grams of extra protein to meals you're already making, without changing your routine at all. Number 5, beans and whole grains cooked together. This is the one, the cheapest, most effective, most overlooked muscle-building combination that exists. We are talking kidney beans simmered with elbow macaroni. Black beans mixed into cornmeal batter and fried into Johnny cakes. Pinto beans ladled over brown rice. Navy beans stirred into a thick barley soup. Individually, beans and grains each have incomplete amino acid profiles. Beans are low in methionine. Grains are low in lysine. But when you eat them together in the same meal, the amino acids complement each other perfectly and form a complete protein. Your body gets the same essential building blocks it would from chicken or fish. The cost is almost absurd. A 1-pound bag of dried kidney beans costs about $1 and yields roughly 6 to 8 servings of cooked beans. A box of macaroni costs about $1 combined. You're looking at 15 to 20 cents per serving of complete protein with enough fiber to keep you full for hours. That fiber does double duty. It stabilizes blood sugar, which prevents the energy crashes that make older adults skip meals or reach for empty-calorie snacks. And it feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which emerging research connects to everything from immune function to nutrient absorption to even muscle maintenance through what scientists call the gut-muscle axis. A healthy gut microbiome actually helps your body use protein more efficiently. So the fiber in the beans is not just filler, it is actively making the protein in the same meal work harder. Beans are also incredibly gentle on aging digestive systems when prepared properly. The overnight soak removes most of the compounds that cause gas and bloating, which is the main reason people avoid beans in the first place. Here's a simple version you can batch cook on a Sunday afternoon. Soak a pound of dried kidney beans overnight in a large pot of water. The next morning, drain them, add fresh water, and simmer on the stove for about an hour until tender. While the beans cook, boil a pound of elbow macaroni according to the box directions. Drain both, combine in a large pot, and season with olive oil, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and a splash of hot sauce if you like. That single batch gives you enough food for 4 to 5 meals. Store it in containers in the refrigerator. Reheat a portion in the microwave whenever you need a filling, protein-rich meal that costs you almost nothing to make. For the cornmeal version, mix a cup of cooked black beans into 2 cups of cornmeal batter made from cornmeal, water, a pinch of salt, and an egg. Drop spoonfuls onto a hot greased skillet and cook until golden on both sides. These Johnny cakes are dense, satisfying, and the kind of food that fueled working people for generations before anyone had ever heard the word superfood. So there they are, 5 meals your grandparents probably ate without a second thought. Canned salmon patties with the bones, beef liver with caramelized onions once a week, pumpkin seed powder in your morning oatmeal, hemp seeds sprinkled on everything, and beans with grains for pennies per plate. You do not need expensive supplements. You do not need exotic ingredients from a specialty store. You do not need a nutritionist charging $200 an hour to tell you what your grandmother already figured out with a cast iron skillet and common sense. You need a can opener, a skillet, a bag of dried beans, and about 20 minutes. If you want to start this week, here's the simplest approach. Pick 2 of these 5, add them to your regular grocery list this Sunday. Try them once during the week. Salmon patties on Monday, hemp seeds on your breakfast Tuesday. If they work for you, add a third the following week, the liver on Wednesday maybe. Within a month, you could have a daily rotation that delivers more protein, more critical vitamins and minerals, and more muscle-protecting nutrition than most meal plans costing 5 times as much. Your muscles are not waiting around. Every week without adequate protein is another week of loss that gets harder to reverse. But the good news is that research consistently shows seniors can rebuild muscle at any age with the right nutrition and even moderate activity. These 5 forgotten recipes are the cheapest, most practical way to start. Subscribe so you do not miss more recipes.